Hello, how are you doing? I hope you all are doing great. And yeah, I'm also fine. And today I'm here with a topic I'm going to discuss. And before starting of this class, let me share you something. Hey, look. Have you ever thought what happens if we compare an elephant by its ability to swim in the water? What happens if we compare a fish by its ability to climb a tree? What happens if we compare a ball by its ability to run a race? And what happens if we compare a horse by its ability to fly in the sky? So let's be unique. And coming back to the topic, you can see here the simple past tense. And we are going to discuss this topic. And talking about the simple past tense, this is one of the aspects of the past tense. We have already discussed all the aspects of the tense, and this one is one of the aspects of the past tense. And this is the first aspect basically, and this is the first aspect of the past tense. And here we talk some structures, its definition, and then some examples, and basically uses. When can we use this tense? Where can we use this tense? And how can we use this tense? And let's talk about its structures. I have written two structures here, and one is negative and another one is positive, and this one is positive and this one is negative. And this structure can be used while forming positive sentences, and this structure can be used while forming negative sentences. And talking about the structure, subject, you can see subject plus verb to. We use verb to, and the verb to is also called the past form. The past form. The verb to is also called the past form. And then object, then blah blah blah. Other words might be there to complete a sentence. And then talking about the object is not always compulsory. That's why I have used here parentheses. And here you can see while negating sentences, while changing sentences into negative, we can use subject plus did plus not or anti plus verb 1. We can use verb 1. We use did as a helping verb or as an auxiliary verb while changing positive past simple sentences into negative past simple sentences. And we call it a helping verb or an auxiliary verb because with the help of this verb did, we change positive past simple sentences into negative. How? With the help of this helping verb, then plus not or anti. We already discussed. So that's why we call it a helping verb. Did plus not or anti plus verb 1 plus object. I have already said the object is not always compulsory, and then blah blah blah. It means other words might be there to complete sentences. And talking about its definition, you can see here the simple past is used when the speaker conceptualizes, when the speaker understands, when the speaker thinks a complete event factually as facts, but is remote, something far in some way. Something far in some way, something remote, it means something far in some way in the past, it shows a sense of remoteness. It shows a sense of remoteness, something far, and completeness, a sense of completeness or a sense of remoteness. And this is how the past, the simple past tense can be used. At that time, in such circumstances, we can use the simple past tense when a complete event factually, and then a sense of remoteness, something far or something complete. At that time, we can use the simple past tense. And now let's talk about some examples here. You can see the first example is Tom played football. Tom played football. See, it is a positive sentence, and Tom is a subject, and played is a main verb here, and verb 2, and then football is an object. Then while changing this sentence into negative, you can see Tom didn't play football. While changing this sentence into negative, we can use did not, and did here is a helping verb. Did is playing a role is a helping verb, also called an auxiliary verb. See, while changing into negative, we use did plus not or anti, and you can see here he wrote a letter. He wrote a letter, subject. He is a subject, then he wrote it. It is a main verb, verb 2, and object. You can see a letter is an object. While changing this sentence into negative, you can see he didn't write a letter. He didn't write a letter. Either did plus not or did plus anti. We can use an abbreviated form or short form. And basically, while speaking, while writing informally, we use this formation. And while writing formally, in academic writing, this is used. And while speaking, you can use either of them. And then you can see another form here, Tom did play football. When can I use this formation? That's most important. That's compulsory and necessary to understand. While speaking, people use this formation. People prefer using this formation when they have to speak forcefully, when they have to state something forcefully, while claiming when they speak, or while making some people or making people believe something. At that time, they use this formation. Let me give you an example. Somebody says, somebody asks, did you eat? And another person says, I did. And the person, the one who asked says, no, you didn't. And the person who ate says, yeah, I did eat. And in this case, and Tom did play football. And somebody asks Tom, Tom, did you play football? And Tom says, yes, I played. And the person who asked says, no, you didn't play. And Tom says by claiming, yeah, I did play football. And this is how we can use this formation while claiming something, while saying something forcefully. At that time, we use this formation. And for example, Tom is your friend, and Tom's dad asks you, did Tom play football? And at that time you say, yes, he played. And Tom's dad says, no, he didn't play. And you say, yes, he did play football. Like this way. Yes, he did play. Yes, he did play football. Like this way. You speak something forcefully as facts. And another sentence. Chris laughed. The sentence is complete. The sentence is meaningful. And I have already said to you, I have used here and here parentheses, and that means the the object is not always compulsory. Without an object, sentences might be complete. That's why I have used here parentheses and here parentheses, and here without an object the sentence is complete. You know, oftentimes what happens while learning any grammatical topic or while studying any grammatical topic, it feels irritating, man. It feels boring. Yeah, it's true. It feels boring and irritating until and unless we learn it. And when you learn it and when you understand it, it feels interesting. And when we start speaking, trust me, man, it feels amazing. So, then coming back to the topic, here I have written some uses of the simple past tense. On the first one is, you can see a definite single completed event action in the past or to state facts. You can see here a definite single completed event or action in the past or to state facts. See, a definite single completed event. I attended a meeting. It's a single completed event and or action in the past when yesterday of that committee. And the twisted facts, it is a fact somebody attended a meeting of that committee yesterday. And then another one is a habitual or repeated action or event in the past. Something happened in the past repeatedly. Something happened in the past iteratively. We use the term iteratively or repeatedly, time and again. See, it snowed almost every week last winter. The first week, the second week, the third week, the fourth week, then the fifth week, then the sixth week, then every week, or yeah, every week. Last winter it snowed, it rained. And then another one is an event. At that time we can use or habitual or repeated action or event in the past. Something happened repeatedly. See, the first week it is snowed. The second week it is snowed. The third week it is snowed. So it is snowed repeatedly. In such a situation we can use the simple past tense. And another one is an event with a duration that applied in the past. Or duration that applied in the past with the implication, with the use that it no longer applies, which is not applicable in the present. See, from this example you can understand. Professor Nelson taught at it's a university in the United States, which is in the United States, and Professor Nelson taught at L for 30 years. It means he taught in the past for 30 years. 30 years. And in this time, he is not teaching. He doesn't teach at that university. And in the past, he taught for 30 years. In such a condition or in such a situation, we can use the simple past tense. And another one is imaginative conditional in the subordinate clause, referring to present time. See, let's understand through this example. If she studied hard, she would pass the exam. And if she didn't study hard and she couldn't pass the exam. If she studied hard, she would pass the exam. And now her result has been published, and on that result she couldn't pass. So in such a situation we can use the simple past tense. And another one is sometimes the time becomes definite as a result of a question and answer in the present perfect. Let's understand from this example. We better understand through an example. Here is the example. Where have you been? Where have you been? And this is your question, and the answer is I have been to the opera. And the conversation continues. Did you enjoy it? And the very person asks. Let me give you another example. For example, you visited India, and your friend asks you, um, where have you been at that time? You say, I have been to India. And your friend asks, did you enjoy the festivals of India? Like this way. This way, we can use those simple past tense. The most important thing is we have to know its meaning, when to use, where to use, and how to use. And another one is with or near past event. I just ate. People, nowadays I have just eaten. Instead of using the present perfect tense, people prefer using the past simple or simple past tense. See, here is an example. I just ate. Instead of I have just eaten. And another example I just want to give you. While changing or direct sentence into an indirect sentence, we use the simple past tense. Let me give you an example. He said, I live in Nepal. I live in Nepal. See, it is a direct sentence. And when we study the direct speech, the indirect speech, at that time we'll understand in detail, we'll discuss in detail. For the time being, we can use the simple past tense in such a situation while changing a direct sentence into an indirect sentence. See, this way, this is a direct sentence, and changing into an indirect sentence. He said that he lived in Nepal. This word, like this word. And while changing from the direct into the indirect, we remove or we omit such commas and inverted commas. So you can see here, this is how we can use the simple past tense. So in this lesson, we discussed about the past simple or simple past tense, and some examples, its definition, and some uses. And in our coming classes, we'll be discussing other aspects. So, and this is all for now. Thank you so much.